Hello, my name is Dan McLean. I'm a senior majoring in English at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. This presentation is my final project for English 318, Writing Internship. Mary Fiorenza is the instructor for the class, as she was for the prerequisite English 317, Writing for Workplaces. That course turned out to be a great laboratory for developing the skills needed for writing on the job, from intra-office memos to reports and proposals to content going out to the public. There was a particular emphasis on learning new technologies and writing styles needed to create content for the internet. In English 318, as the title implies, most of the focus is on the internships we have taken on in conjunction with the course. My internship is with the Wisconsin Grassroots Network. It's an organization developed to provide an online connection that Wisconsin's progressive grassroots groups can use for organizing, communicating, and networking. I chose to intern with WGN because it allows me to stay politically active and do something valuable while going to school. Another reason is that I knew I would not do well in an internship where I might be patronized by the professional staff and be given busy work that no one else wanted to do. With WGN, I'm a full member of the web team, and there have been very few limits on my creativity and initiative. At 56, I'm the youngest member of the web committee, but for a bunch of old fogies, we make pretty good use of technology. We are spread out from DeForest to Middleton to Mazomanie to Belleville, so most often we meet on Google Hangout. Here we can meet face-to-face and share documents online. We keep our running notes and assignments on Google Docs. There's also a screen share feature to Google Hangout, and as you can see at that particular moment, I was sharing the home page from our website. So down below, the second square from the left, that's me represented as well. And next to me, that postage stamp, that's Karen. She does that because she gets a better internet connection if she does just the audio and not the video. Up on the right, you'll see there's also a group chat feature, and Tim is sharing a link. I believe at the particular moment of this screenshot, the group was unanimously voting down that emerald green wallpaper. Our website uses the Nation Builder platform, which is great for creating databases and organizing, but it's a little bit clunky for making consistent, nice-looking web pages. So the other members of the web committee and I have been trying to learn as much as we can about the finer points of Nation Builder so we can improve our page. And if you go to their homepage here and scroll down to the bottom, there are a number of resources available. There are some how-to videos. Those are screen tutorials on how to set up a web page and customize it for your needs. There is a fact page. The problem with that is it starts at the latest question and works back. So if you've got a specific question, you're going to want to search it here. And as you can see, a lot of people have asked questions about embedding. So if you're still not seeing the solution to your problem, you're going to want to go to the fact page and ask a question here, and that'll go out as an email, and they'll send you back an email solution to your problem. I did send a question early on when I was working on the web page. I don't remember exactly what it was, but the answer they sent me back by email did not solve my problem. So I sent a kind of a testy response to that, and within an hour, one of their techs had called me on my cell phone, and he walked me through the problem over the cell phone and solved it for me. So I really can't complain about Nation Builder's tech support. They're very professional, they take it very personally, and they really want to help you develop a really nice web page. Okay, this is the Wisconsin Grassroots Network website, and this is the home page. And I just want to show you a few of the things that I've done since I've been involved in it as an intern. As you can see, I'm signed in as an administrator, so later on I can show you a few things behind the scenes. But right now I just want to show you some things on the surface that I've done for the page. This header was originally just white with that Wisconsin Grassroots Network logo in the middle. Tim and I worked on this and came up with this different shades of green theme that we use kind of throughout the website now. And I wrote this slogan, connecting progressive grassroots groups throughout the state of Wisconsin. So a little more engaging than what we had before. The wallpaper on the sides, there was no wallpaper before, just blank space. And adding this just kind of added a little more definition to everything, and really highlighted the things in the middle a little bit better. Added this photo slider. Before there was just a calendar here, and you'd look at you scroll down and look at calendar events in reverse order. Adding this photo slider, we can focus on things deeper into the website that we want to point out to people, and that might be a little more engaging to them. So this photo slider scrolls through every 5 seconds, or you can click on here and get it to stop on whatever item you're interested in. When you click on the image, it takes you to that page. So a little more engaging, gets people's interest. Down below now we have a map. We had looked at various different software for maps that we could have purchased or leased, and didn't find anything that really fit with a Nation Builder or really fit our needs. So I worked with Google Maps because we really want to focus on, we've got a lot of things going on as Wisconsin Grassroots Network, but we really want to focus on the member groups. So this highlights them on the front page. And so it took a little bit of fooling around with the zoom on the map to get it to where it would show a recognizable Wisconsin. And we've got markers for all of our groups on there so far. And I did figure out how to change those to green from blue. And it seems like there's a way that you can change it to another type of icon, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I may have to contact Google about that because it doesn't seem to work, but that'll be the next phase. I've got a little sprig of grass that I want to use for that. Okay, let's look at some of the features on the page. I want to show you the grassroots profiles. That's one of the features that I came up with. We have a lot of like issue-related material on the website, but our focus really is on the group. So I wanted something that would feature a particular group, to kind of show other groups what they're doing, allow the groups to get to know each other a little bit. So if you click on their logo, the latest one we did was Spark, Sun Prairie Action Resource Coalition, and down at the bottom here I have the archives, which has the first one I did, Grassroots North Shore. So we chose them as our first group because our organization is kind of, at this point, kind of centered around Dane County, so we wanted to reach out. These guys are in the suburbs north of Milwaukee, and so I contacted them, and I interviewed Keith, the guy in the back there, and gave the group kind of final editorial control too. I mean, he looked it over, corrected some things, and sent it back to me. So we really want it to be not only featuring them, but featuring what they want to feature about themselves. So all of the profile articles are going to have this big photo up front, and down below, this is a photo gallery that's saved on Flickr. And the nice thing about this is that it will go through on its own. You can also go through the photos on your own. They allowed me just to go through their Facebook page and grab out some interesting pictures, so I did that. And so now this photo, I'm going to show you behind the scenes here how some of these things go in here. This is the settings. This just gives the basic information. The slug is the location on the web page. You need that. This is where you'd actually publish it. Once you're done working on it, you publish it right here, and you can decide if you want it in the top nav or the sidebar, things like that. So, but where you actually write the article is in content, and it's just kind of like a word processor or email kind of setup, and so you just, there's a limited number of fonts to choose from, although you could fool around with the HTML, come up with different ones. But here, when you do put the photo in, this is where you do that. And we've got, I could show you, we've got several different photos, and you just have to make sure you choose the right one here. And then you're going to get to choose how big you want it. You want to keep it consistent throughout. Just divide it to the left, and gave it 5 pixels on the right and 10 pixels underneath, just to space that picture away from the text a little bit. And the same thing goes when you add these icons. I put these on there because we have our own icons for Facebook and Twitter at the bottom of the page. So this differentiates and shows that it's Grassroots North Shore's Facebook and Twitter. So that you add as a photo too, but then you add the link like this. So you can either put in a slug from another page in our website, or or a Facebook or a website. And then we always have it open in a new window so people aren't having to scroll back and forth. And then you can see here, this is that Flickr photo gallery. And where I put it in, it is just a web address. So when you're done with the article, we think you have it kind of the way you want. There's a preview feature, but that doesn't take into consideration things like that sidebar. So really what you're going to want to do is probably go to live and just see what it looks live. And there you have it. Okay, I just want to mention the Ideas Forum because that's another feature that I came up with at the suggestion of someone I interviewed from Grassroots North Shore. And the purpose is to have a place where people can pose questions to people in other groups, you know, on organizing resources, anything they might want to put out there for some brainstorming. So that's a feature that hasn't really gotten going yet, but we're going to, in the future, find ways to maybe promote it by email or posting on Facebook, things like that. Okay, another thing I just want to point out briefly is our blogs page. I find that I really enjoy working on the visual aspects of the website. So before, our blogs page just had, you know, text links here, and so I came up with these icons. I wanted to use mostly like symbolic images rather than photos, and just to make it easier to find, a little more engaging for people. Okay, so that's all I want to show you on the website itself. I would encourage you, if you're so inclined, go to wisconsingrassroots.net and have a look around. But next I'm going to show you a couple things that are related but not on the actual website that I'm working on. This is my Blog Over Money website. My blog for English 318 is called Blog Over Wisconsin, so this is the second in the Blog Over franchise. And what I wanted to do was really focus on money and politics. And really the bedrock principle of progressivism is not left ideology versus right ideology. It's the whole idea that money has an undue influence on our politics and our democracy. So I wanted to make this real simple. I found this image. He's from Thomas Nast, a famous cartoonist from the turn of the century. And there's no words needed because his body language, his posture, his smugness, place him anywhere, and he makes a statement about money in politics. And WGN website was not real keen on featuring this on the website itself because they thought it was too partisan. The first one I came up with was Scott Walker signing the mining bill, and money kind of looking on, showing his influence. But I started putting him in other situations, kind of standing arrogantly on top of our Constitution, between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, showing that both sides are involved in the money and politics, and Congress, all focused on money rather than what they should be. K Street, where all the lobbyists are, and even Wall Street. And Michaela Maroney helped me out. She's not too impressed by Wall Street, and neither is Mr. Money because he has his way with them. So that's kind of what we've been doing. I have been sharing this through my Facebook page and really getting a lot of hits that way. So we've come to the point in my presentation where I look at everything I've learned and show how it all fits into the larger perspective of my educational goals and my career path. Wow. One nice thing about conclusions is that you get to put them off until the end. And this semester I've gotten so wrapped up in my classes and my internship that the whole idea of having educational goals kept getting pushed out of my mind. Trying to find the unifying factors in my education reminds me of The Glass Bead Game, a novel by Hermann Hesse. It takes place at an elite academy in the future where the students are involved in projects that find connections between seemingly unrelated things down to the elemental and metaphysical levels. Kind of like extreme Bildungsroman. My approach is not quite as deliberate as that. It's more like taking a hike through the woods and photographing anything that strikes me as beautiful or interesting at the time, and then relaxing and scrolling through them at the end of the day. Last semester for my 318 term paper, I found a connection between Sweet Baby James, Don Quixote, and my part-time security job. This semester has exposed me to so many amazing things that I really needed to know, but just wasn't aware of. When I graduate in August, I hope to find a job, and I hope that my degree will help me get a job that I really enjoy. In the hiring process, my degree will speak for itself. But what I hope the employer will take away from the interview is the notion that they really need to hire a person with an engaged mind that is bursting with ideas stimulated by his liberal education. So my conclusion to this project is a tribute to some of the great ideas that have repeatedly stopped me in my tracks and showed me the true value of my education. In British Lit, the individual search for identity was a theme across the span of modern literature, because it's a theme for us across generations and cultures. If we are looking for common ground with people of other cultures, that's a good place to start looking. In Introduction to Ecology, I found out how superficial my understanding of ecology had been before taking the course. One thing I found out is that there needs to be a major shift in the field of ecology. While most ecology majors envision tromping around the woods like Aldo Leopold after graduation, we need a lot of them to stay inside and work on environmental policy. The emerging key to protecting our ecosystems is to find ways to monetize them so that we can incentivize good environmental practices. Many of the problems in the Middle East today have their origins in the deception and betrayal of Middle Eastern countries over the centuries by Western colonial powers. Knowing that may or may not help us bring peace to the region, but it should provide a clear rearview mirror for our approach to the Middle East going forward. In writing for workplaces, I learned that you need to adjust your writing for your audience and the conventions of different media. But there are some overriding writing techniques, practices, and habits that can help you develop as a writer in any context. If literature represents life, then writing can represent your approach to life. Here's a great example of how one thing leads to another in education. My English Teacher in China project for 317 sparked my interest in ESL. So I followed up with an ESL methods class. My ESL tutoring for the class taught me that whether you are teaching kindergartners or space engineers, the biggest factor in how successful a lesson will be is how willing you are to engage your students personally. I was going to put photos of my grade schoolers and my PhD candidates here, but confidentiality is an issue. But this photo represents my idea for a group presentation using Teach Me to Bucky to demonstrate the total physical response method. I have become more patient and steadfast, yet passionate about my goals, because I know of people who have been carrying that positive approach across generations. Sonam Marpa, the subject of my American folk music project, has truly been an inspiration to me. Born in 1959, the year of the Tibetan diaspora to India, he embodies the endurance of the Tibetan spirit and culture. 16th century literature has taught me that the more things change, the more they stay the same. Not only is Elvis still alive, but he's been around since the 16th century. A hunk burnin' love. Our internship class is what really cut me loose to enjoy and appreciate my other classes. With only 7 actual class meetings, we really had to look to our internships for direction, all the while knowing that we would be accountable to document it with meaningful blog posts and projects. I have really looked forward to getting feedback and support from my professor and classmates, and somehow I felt some pride in the success each of them had with their own internships. So thanks, Mary, and thank you, Nadine, Brandon, Elizabeth, Chelsea, Megan, Kao, and Katie. It has been great getting to know you and going through this with you for 2 semesters. I have tried to highlight the positive aspects of my college experience, but that irritates the cynical side of my nature a little bit, so I'm going to close with a little visual rhetoric that expresses how I felt during some of the more challenging moments during my time at UW. On Wisconsin!